Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for watching again. Listen, we wanted to get right into a question from our viewers. Oh man, this is a good one right here. Okay, and this is going to be from Mark. Hey, my brother, I'm understanding more about velocity banking. Yes. I went to Navy Federal and ordered checks attached to my $16,000 credit card with designs to pay rent. I also want to do a balance transfer from seven, count them seven, of our household cards. Good job. How do I keep pouring money into my major card if it's already paid up? What a great question, right? Now, think in your mind, what would you do if you were Mark with this question? How do you keep pouring money into major credit cards if it's already paid up? I remember one time I tried to actually overfund, right? Insurance term. I tried to overfund my credit card, and they just sent me a check for my overfund right back to me. Can you believe that? I mean, how dare they? I'm trying to protect my money and not have it go through the inflation tax, right, of 2.34% each year. But they weren't having any of that, right? So this is what I had to do, all right? I had to take my $5,000 card, okay, $5,000, and I had to make sure that it was not $5,000. I had to make sure that that money was working for me somewhere else. That's how we have to look at it. It's not spending. The money is always going to be working for you. Why? Because money is a slave, and it needs to always be working for you. One man said, if you're not finding a way or creating a way to make money in your sleep, you're going to work until you die. So what you need to do is make sure that these major credit cards, Mark, that these major credit cards don't have fullness. You got to keep on spending it, whether that's towards your education, whether that's towards real estate investing education, whether that's towards an education towards, do you see what I'm getting at? Because what you need to focus on is these expenses right here, okay? And really, they're not expenses, they're investments. The productive expense, okay, and the protective expense. Now, what's the productive expense? Do you remember that? Productive expenses are you investing in your entrepreneurship, okay? You investing in owning a business. We can't keep the money inside of our credit cards and have this process work for us. No. The system that we are on right now was meant to consistently turn, meaning you gotta have a revolving line of credit in order for your money not to lose value. Remember who you're doing this for. You're doing it not only for yourself, but you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your community, you're doing it for the future. And so let's go ahead and recognize that, okay, the money has to go somewhere, but let's focus on the productive and the protective expenses. So once you do that, right? Once you do that, make sure as that money is going out that you still have a cash flow. So your expenses are going to be, let's say, the 5,000, you're making 5,000, and then subtract that by, let's say, $3,000 expense. That's going to leave you with $2,000. Make sure that this $2,000 spread across your credit card, or recommended using only one credit card to do the velocity banking method with, and then you're paying all the others in minimums, okay? Make sure that this $2,000 stays on at least one of those credit cards. Absolutely. Why? Because this number right here is what's going to pay that debt off. Whatever is left from your income and expenses is called your monthly discretionary income or your cash flow. And that is what's going to pay down your expenses. How do you know when you're going to pay a card off? Well, you just simply take the balance, right? Your balance, and divide that by the cash flow. So it's B over C, and that will equal your velocity turn, or how many months that you can be expected to pay that particular card off completely. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and address something here. I want to erase the board. I want to recognize Mark's greatness in getting the 7 household credit cards. Very good job. Remember, when you are dealing with credit, you definitely want to have at least 3 to 5 credit cards, okay? And really, if you're not Mark, you don't want to go over 5, but Mark's a boss, right? And so he gets 7. Now, remember, the credit companies, they love it. These reporting agencies, they love a mix of accounts. So if you have like a car loan, a mortgage, any installment loans, they like to see that mix of accounts. So not only credit cards, not only lines of credit, but also loans. They like to see that mix, and they like to see you paying it down, right? Massively, like Mark is doing. All right. So what we want to do here is just address how you're paying those balances off. All right. How do you pay those balances off? Remember how you're going to do it. You go by the CFI method, which is loan balance divided by the minimum monthly payment. And you remember the range, don't you? 0 to 50, that's the danger zone. So you want to focus on paying that line or that loan off, because that's an inefficient line or inefficient loan, okay? In relation, right, to how much you're getting. You're paying too much if it's between 0 to 50. If it's 51 to 99, when you divide the loan balance or line balance divided by the minimum monthly payments, if it's 51 to 99, then that's a caution zone. So you can restructure the loan, or you can actually ask for a lower interest rate. Okay, you can still work with that. 100 and above, freedom zone. What does that mean? You don't ever have to pay it off, or you don't have to place it as high a priority as the other ones. Why? Because the amount of money that you're getting is worth the amount you're paying each month. And that's what I mean by freedom zone. Man, what's your name? I know it's a girl, so I'm going to call you Amy. Is that all right? Yeah, because I know you were like, hey, you lost me at freedom zone. Well, guess what? I remember you. And I addressed your question right there. If you have any more questions, hit me up. Look, that is the formula that you want to use to pay those cards down. Now, Mark is doing a balance transfer, okay? And it's going to be brilliant, especially if he transfers all those onto a 0% APR. Now, when you're doing the 0% APR, please look at the fine print. Because let's say you got 3 cards and they're all like 0% APR. One says 18 months, one says 24 months, one says 12 months. Well, what if the 12-month one had better terms during that 0%? Do you see what I'm saying? So read those terms and conditions, please. Okay, because the big print giveth and the small print taketh away. All right? So always be sure of that. When you got 7 cards, when you got 10 cards, when you got 12 cards, all right, you want to make sure that you're at least focusing on the massively credit limit, okay? And then you'll go from there, because you want to make sure that you're using the velocity banking method with that massive credit limit so that you can do the most with it. Can you do it with all of them? You sure can, but I would definitely sign up for a membership and talk to me about the Money Max account if you are in that boat. Listen, I want to get back with you. Mr. Butler, DB, I have to apologize to you, man. You know, I was so into a conversation that I could not get with you today, but please hit me up. Thank you so much for your patience. And man, it was totally my fault. It's not going to be like that the next time. Please hit me up. All right. Hey, thank you so much. And you take care. God bless. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe so that you can see more videos like this that are personalized. In the comments below, hit me up with your questions. I'm going to answer them on video. Boom. God bless.